Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we're going to go over some of those reminders for weekly things that you want to do before maintenance hits. Things that are going to be going away. The first part of the video, we're going to do limited time things that are just here for a limited time, of course. And then the second part of the video, we're going to do those same static weekly trades that we always try to do. It's things that you should always be trading in for every week. Now, right here at the beginning of the video, I want to kind of start off with a little bit of a down note. I'm sure you'll notice that I'm currently on a character, which is my Piccolo cosplay. And the reason I'm doing that is to honor somebody that passed away this week that I learned of. It's really sad. And that would be Mr. Akira Toriyama. He was the creator of Dragon Ball and also many other things that I liked in my life. I was deeply saddened to learn of Akira Toriyama's passing this morning. As a little kid, I played the original Dragon Quest on NES. It was the very first role-playing game I ever played when I was a little kid. I got a lot of happiness and joy out of that game as a little kid playing it, in a time when I needed a lot of happiness and joy. I was a really big fan of the creatures that he created in the game, like the iconic salams. So I just wanted to spread a little bit of awareness and do a little bit of a tribute here to Mr. Toriyama. Thanks so much for bringing so much joy to the world. So the mission pass for NGS Season 29 is going to be going away with the maintenance, so you're going to want to make sure that you go through here and progress any of your tiers that you can before the maintenance hits. If you need to, you can go up here to the top left and you can actually purchase tiers for star gems. So if you haven't gotten all the way to tier 40 and there's something that you want to get there along the way, you can always do that. You can always purchase star gems. Now, saying that, it's always a good idea when these new mission passes are about to come in. You want to go up here to the top left, and you want to go to previous season, which will show you the one from before, NGS Season 28. And you want to make sure that you claim anything inside of here if you hadn't yet, because this will completely get replaced and anything that's in here you won't be able to claim anymore. And the NGS Season 29 is going to be taking the place of this one. Now, you won't be able to actually progress the tiers any longer, but you can still claim the items that are inside of here, so keep that in mind. And then NGS Season 30 should be taking place of this one here in particular. Now, whenever it comes to this NGS Mission Pass, I did want to mention here in the gold portion of the Mission Pass, here on Tier 20 in particular, there was Renewed Resolve ticket. So that's the next thing we're going to mention is going to be the Renewed Resolve. This SG scratch is actually going to be going away. So if you still have a selector ticket for this, you want to make sure that you go through the prize listing and use your selector tickets, because this will be your last moment that you have to use it before that goes away. So you get one of those inside of the mission pass. I believe the last mission pass gave one of those too, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely make sure that you use your tickets for that. So something else that will be going away with the maintenance is going to be the Crimson Realm, sadly. I really like the Crimson Realm a lot. I like the driverless enemy that's there. So that is sadly going to be coming to an end. And as well, along with that, there's currently a 150% rare drop rate boost for the Kvaris region. So right now is a really good time to get out there and do some PSE farming inside of the Crimson Realm area, and as well like the Razor Gorge and stuff like that. I don't really think too many people are there farming any longer, but there is a 150% rare drop rate boost going on there, so it is still a really good farm right now. Now, sadly, I'm wondering how SEGA's going to handle this with the driverless enemy in particular, because the driverless enemy, there's a title reward for killing 100 of those. So if you didn't kill 100 of those while the Crimson Realm's going on, I'm assuming that we're going to have the driverless enemy somewhere else later on, or maybe they'll make a repeat of the Crimson Realm in Kvaris again, hopefully. So we do have quite a few AC scratches that are going to be going away with the upcoming maintenance too, so I wanted to mention that real quick. One of them is going to be the NGS Makeup Revival. So if you've been scratching on that, make sure that you use your selector ticket that you have to pick anything you want from the prize listing. Just a really good idea to go through here and just see if you need a wish list or anything, or pick anything up. There's a lot of really good stuff inside of these actually. But then another one would be the Rewind Collection February 24. This one's actually going to be going away with the maintenance too. So this one had a lot of outfits and different things inside of it too, and so same thing, if you've been scratching on it, make sure you go through and use your selector ticket. So if there's anything in the prize listing here that you want to definitely check it out to see, because once this stuff's gone, you won't be able to actually wish list it any longer, and as well, it's also all probably going to get more expensive. Now lastly, I did also want to mention the Virtual Louder Style 24. This scratch will be going away too. I'm not going to talk about this one too much, but if you have scratched on it, make sure you use your selector ticket. So we do have another Arks record ranking that's going to be coming to an end this week. So if you open up your menu and then you go to personal and then to Arks records and then random challenge records, you can find it right here. It's called Horrible Flapping. Now whenever it comes to doing these, you want to make sure you do at least a run of it, that way so you get yourself a participation reward. This is the one where you're going to be fighting like a chicken, so it's basically like a big DPS check. Depending on your gear and your skill and everything, you might want to try to aim for silver or gold with this, because it's just like a DPS check kind of boss. Now whenever it comes to these rankings, I always like to mention it's a good idea to try to do at least one run of these on different ships. So if you have a character on multiple ships, it's an independent ranking reward. Now, whenever it comes to these independent ranking rewards, you can get those extra badges, and you can use those extra badges on your off ships for like the Star Gem trades, stuff like that. Now right here you can see this is the cocoon where you would start it up at, the horrible flapping, and the way you would find this, it's over in West Kvaris. And it's right here at this cocoon that we just found on the map. Right here, horrible flapping. Now another quick little heads up, there is a limited time quest going on currently that's actually pretty good, and there's a campaign boost going on inside of this too, the Plateau Cleanup Op 24. The 12-player quest, it does currently have a 150% rare drop rate, so if you want to hit that before maintenance comes along, pretty good little mission to run. Takes about 4 minutes to get through. And it's also a really good idea to run these because there's actually a daily quest that gives those reward box items for running that every day too. You can see right here, I've completed mine already, but it gives a special scratch and as well the reward box badge or medal or whatever this little item is here to spin the reward box. So this part of the video, we're going to go ahead and jump into one of the first weekly trades. I don't actually know for certain if this is a weekly trade or not. This is at the NPC Architect. She actually has some new stuff going on now that SEGA changed up the lineup of her Genesis Point shop she has here. You can actually trade in for a lot of really good stuff here. You can get a hold of Arms Refiner 2, you can trade in for 20 of those. There's a bunch of different things here for like unlocking like potential 6 on your weapons, and a bunch of LC capsules for getting like good stuff for your gear. Most importantly, I've already traded in for these, but some of the stuff down here at the bottom is really good. You can get materials down here for making a radar weapon, as well as some of these materials for customizing your PAs. And most importantly is the ones right here for the Aegis Integra exchange, and as well the Master Fragments. Now the Master Fragments, 10 of these actually makes an End Master Cube. They added a trade for that. So if this ends up being a weekly trade or a monthly trade, either way, this is really important. You want to make sure that you get a hold of these. It does take a lot of Genesis points to get that, but you can just run that new quest that they added, the Extermination quest, and you can actually get a lot of Genesis points really fast just by running that. Now you can see up in the top right, as of the time of making this video, I've made this video on Friday today. It says that it has 4 days left remaining until reset, which will be coming up with maintenance. Now, whenever the maintenance hits, I don't know if this is going to be another weekly trade or if it's going to be like a monthly thing, so I'm not exactly sure. We'll just have to wait and see. They didn't say anything on the website about changing it to a weekly trade yet, so I'm not really certain, but hopefully it'll end up being a weekly thing. If so, this Master Fragment exchange here in particular is going to be huge. Okay, so this part of the video, we'll be going over all the other static weekly trades. Now, a lot of this is just repeat stuff that we do every single week in these reminder videos, but it never hurts to have reminders on this stuff, right? Because it's things that you should be trading in for every week. So first we're going to go to the first shop on the left in Central City here, the Item Trader Travis. Now up here at the very top is a new one that they added for the item recycle. You want to make sure you trade in for your 10 rare drop rate 100% boosters up here, and you also want to make sure you always trade in for these 3 add skill preset level 1 things. This allows you to generate fix on any piece of gear at level 1 at 100%. So you can actually have, there's no reason to not at least have a fix of 1 on something from now on. So it's really important to get these, even if you don't want to generate something right now, just stock them up. That way, so when some new OP gear comes, you can just roll a bunch of fixes. Now, something else you always want to do is go to Item Exchange here, and towards the bottom, you want to make sure you trade in for your 3 on an augmentation success rate 10%. That's a really useful item here. And then another one would be the Arc Circuit Badge Exchange. You always want to make sure that you trade in for your weekly Star Gems right here. There's also Arms Refiner 2 in case if you need them here as well. And then another thing that they've added recently is going to be some new stuff inside of Item Exchange Kvaris. You want to make sure you trade in for your radar weapon mats up here. Then another exchange I want to mention, it's not really useful anymore, but it's like Item Exchange Stia. There is some stuff inside of the middle here where you can trade in for like NEX cubes and as well arms refiners. So just in case if you need some of those, you can actually get some of those here. But then another one is extremely important. It's going to be the Aegis Integra exchange. Now towards the bottom down here, they've increased the amount that you can trade in per week. You want to make sure that you always trade in for all these augment capsules down here, which makes Finale. And then in turn, that can be used to make Lux Finale, which is one of the best augments in the entire game. It's extremely expensive too. And then another one is Giga Strugman Exchange. Inside of here, you can trade in for your customization discs for customizing your photon arts. And as well, you can also get in some other things in here that are limited too, just in case if you need some of this stuff for like running dual quest and whatnot. Then another one's going to be the Growthman Exchange. Now the Growthman Exchange also has more of these PA customization discs, and you can also get a hold of weekly LC capsules in here and Arms Refiner too, just in case if you need some more of those. Now lastly in here, I'm going to mention the Dread Scale Exchange. You want to always make sure that you trade in for this 1 TA customization disc Omni. There's one of them up here at the top that you can get. You can only get one a week, so make sure you get that too. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and go down the street to the last shop on the right inside of Central City, and it's going to be at the Enhancement Shop. Now here at the Enhancement Shop down at the bottom is Exchange Enhancement Materials and then other enhancement materials. And then inside of here, you can see that new trade I talked about for the End Master Cube, which takes those Master Fragments. This isn't a limited time trade, but it is kind of a limited time trade because there currently isn't any way to get a hold of more Master Fragments. I'm sure they're going to add more of those in the future though. But you can trade in weekly for these Gold Prim Sword 2 and Gold Prim Armor 2. These are extremely important for taking your gear to plus 80. And as well, you can also get a hold of some more like Arms Refiner 2s inside of here and these Photon Chunk 2 things, so you can unlock potential 6 on your weapon and limit break and all that good stuff. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and go up the stairs here underneath the tower to Central City. And that's going to be the Alliance activity to support NPC Tim here. Now Tim has alliance tasks, and if you do those alliance tasks, he gives you alliance badges, and you use those alliance badges to trade in weekly for all these Genesis points here. As well, there's also some star gems, and there's also some triggers inside of here. Now when it comes to the triggers, sometimes some of these hold some pretty good value, and sometimes they're just not really worth anything. So I would keep that in mind. You can check the player shops and see if something here might be worth your time to get. Okay, so the last part of the video here, we're going to be going back to base PSO2 for the Casino Star Gem trade, as well the Buster Metal exchange. You can get a hold of a lot of Star Gems in base PSO2. So the way that you would access PSO2, first you have to have it downloaded. It is a separate download from NGS. It's free though to get, and it's very worthwhile to have it. So honestly, I would suggest having it. Now you can go to any Ryuker in the game, and then you can go to block transfer, and you can see up at the very top there's an option up here for transfer to a PSO2 block. Okay, so here we are in the base PSO2, and it's going to start you off right here in the middle of the Arks ship lobby. And if you turn around, there's an elevator right here which takes you to the shopping plaza. Once you go through inside of here, if you jump down and you turn around, here's the entrance to the casino. Now up the stairs to the left up here is going to be the Buster Metal Exchange. So here's the Buster Metal Exchange, and inside of here you can go to Buster Metal Exchange shop for limited time items. You can see that there is star gems here. You can actually get a total of 100 star gems right here, which is a lot. Now you do have to have Buster Metals, of course, to exchange for these, but you can get a hold of those from running the Trigger Cradle of Darkness or from the Urgent Quest version of it too. A lot of players tend to start that in the quest. You can actually just join in on them. You get that trigger from the Alliance shop, but we're going to go ahead and run down the stairs here. We're going to go inside the casino. We're going to show you the trade that's inside of here and explain it a little bit. Now, once inside of here, if you run over to the left, you can see the prize attendant Chip here. And Chip has limited time prizes for star gems here as well. Now, this one in particular is actually per ship too. So if you have characters on multiple ships, this is another thing where you can get like extra star gems weekly by doing that. Now you do have to have casino coins in order to trade in for these. So the way that you would get a hold of casino coins, if it's your very first time in the casino, this NPC right here has tasks that you can do around the casino. And he'll give you some passes for some coins. And as well, there's also just like various games inside of here that you can play. It's pretty fun if you get a hold of like some of your alliance mates or friends or something and just come in here and kind of nerd out for a while. Get a lot of coins that way. Now, once you have passes, you need to take them to this Vol Dragon machine here, and the Vol Dragon machine has an option to spin, and it'll like spit out some random value of coins at you. Now, there is another way to get a hold of these, and the way that I like to do that is doing daily orders back in base PSO2. So I'm going to show you that back in the main Ark ship lobby. So here we are back in the middle of the main Ark ship lobby where we had originally logged in before. So if you run over to the left, there's going to be a daily order attendant over here. Now, this daily order attendant, you can actually stock up on these daily orders, which is something I tend to do. You can see I have some completed there already. But I like to grab these ones down here at the very bottom because usually these are like really easy ones for like collecting things via like fishing and mining and stuff like that. And some of these in here are kind of easy, some of them are hard, some of them is like killing bosses, which will give you like Masetta and stuff like that. But the ones I like to do in particular is the harvesting ones, because you can see right here, I just now turned that in and I've automatically got this item right here, this oysters order. This is the one that I just grabbed. You can see I have 59 of this item, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this in. And it's going to bring up a thing trying to get me to turn in all of them. I want to make sure that I adjust this value just to turn in one, because I want to save those items for another turn in or another character. I'm going to go ahead and turn that in. And whenever I back out here, you can see that it pops up. I've completed a daily order, giving me 5 casino coin passes, which is the minimum of 500 casino coins, if not more. Now you can actually do this per day, per character too. So I could like quickly log into another character and do this daily order right here without doing anything but just logging in, running over and turning in that item, and I'll get 500 more casino coins at least. So it's a really good way to get a hold of those weekly star gems. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for the video. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Stay safe and have a wonderful day, friends. I'll see you all in the next one.